Good morning. It's December 26th, 2020, and it's about 50 degrees outside, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. And I'm back here in the entrance to go over some plants that stayed out in the cold and just talk a little bit about what we do here in Florida to protect our plants when the temperatures drop quite a bit. So, here we are at the entrance. I did take most of the Hoyas, the thin leaf Hoyas, but I did leave quite a bit out because of space issues. So here's Swiffer. She seems to be enjoying the sun a little bit today since it's only like 50 degrees out. So I left a lot of plants out, and they seem to be doing okay. The temperature dropped down to 42 degrees. So even the orchids, so far so good. They don't look too stressed out by the cold. But as you can see from prior videos, I did take a lot of the more thin-leafed Hoyas in, and I left a lot of carnosas. This carnosa I received as a Carnosa Snowball Alaska. I don't know what that means, but it's just another Carnosa variant or hybrid. And over here I have this Carnosa Gray Ghost that's converted to green, and they all did pretty well. I'm kind of lucky that it didn't drop down to 32 degrees because all of these would have turned into mush out here. But yeah, all the orchids seem to be doing well. The Hoyas that I left out did pretty well. Over here we have Hoya Hot Lips getting nice morning, afternoon sun here. And then some Hoyas getting some Hoya blush. The sun and the cold brings out these colorful leaves, so it's nice. And some of the orchid blooms were not affected by it. This white dendrobium has been blooming for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and he seems pretty happy still. More carnosas that I left out. Hoya Kamengii, totally not affected. This guy down here, this IML 1398, I should have brought in because it is a Finlaysonii type Hoya, and probably from Borneo, and it does never get cold there, so I'm assuming 40 degrees was a little too much for it, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad, so I left out. Maybe it stays a little warmer over here because I have so much vegetation around. So there's a beautiful croton. Ooh, I should have taken my cross in. This thing has never bloomed yet, so I'm waiting for it to bloom and see if it's a keeper or not. But it wasn't a good idea to forget it because it gets really beautiful big veiny leaves. Can't really tell, but I should have taken it in. So yeah, this bromeliad seems to be doing good. Orchid, why not, is doing really well. Putting out a lot of new growth this year. It's crazy. And Schaffertii is one of the cooler growers, so obviously it did not get any effect from the cold. I did see a little bit of cold stress here on my Bellbergia, so I don't know if it really doesn't like to go below 45 degrees probably. So, and Potsii 616 is doing really good, and my Dendrobium Baruna Twist still blooming after 6-7 weeks. I'm really impressed with this guy. And if you look up close at the little screwdriver looking antlers. And everything is twisted about this guy. Really pretty. And what else we got here? You know, I should have really taken this Nepenthes inside. I don't think the 40 plus 42 degrees was good for it. I will bring it inside tonight because it's supposed to go down to 44. So, and of course I couldn't get to any of those orchids that are growing up there. So they will again try to make it through the night. So yeah, some of their stuff I left Globulosa in. It's a mountain grower, so this is Velosa variety. So it doesn't really mind the cold so much. This Globulosa is actually putting out new growth in winter, so it's a cooler growing Hoya. This Syngonium is doing pretty well, didn't freeze. Sometimes tropical plants around the 40 degrees, they start showing some signs of stress, but apparently they all did pretty good last night. I'm impressed. Okay, even the Epiprimum Cebu Blue, I don't know if you can see up there, is one of the more cold sensitive plants, and it seems to be doing quite well. No browning of the leaves yet, so really lucky. Took a lot of the Hoyas that I had hanging in out here into the greenhouse and the garage, but I did weave the thicker weave. This is a Hoya rotunda flora, yeah, and it's doing pretty well. It's growing quite a bit all over the place. And I took a lot of the bulbophyllums in. I had a couple racks, my newer racks that I showed you last time. Out here, two people picked them up and just carried them inside the garage. That was a good thing, I guess. The greenhouse stayed at above 60 degrees all night, which was nice. I had a heater in there. There were some Hoyas that I should have taken in, but I forgot. This is Hoya Ricardo, one of the Ceresus crosses in Thailand. That's Dekyai crossed with Vitolina, and I would have thought that one would have been a little sensitive, but it seems to be doing well so far. And I got this Ultra as a Christmas present, and pretty soon it'll get a lot more orchids on it and Hoyas, but it's really sturdy because that Buddha weighs probably 60 pounds. So I think Swiffer's around here somewhere. So yeah, let me just I have 3 shade houses and a couple of different properties that I covered up with plastic tarps and put a heater in there. But I will go into the garage here. This is a 2-car garage, and it's pretty full, but I did manage to put a lot of plants in here. And I have T5 grow light there, and then some more full spectrum grow lights underneath the shelving. And I had a little space heater. And here are the bulbophyllums and orchids and some begonias. And yeah, I did manage a lot of stuff here. So some anthuriums, and the blooming bulbophyllum grandiflorum is doing pretty well. Some orchids down there. The big gram, it's pretty cold sensitive orchid. I brought it in here. And just a lot of seedlings and other Hoyas that I'm really protected of. Some of my new crosses, some begonias in there. My baby seedling Hoyas, you can see in there. Some of them are ready for upgrades in pot size. So then some bulbophyllums. So I think it stayed. I had a thermometer telling me that the lowest temperature it got in here was 58 degrees. So we're good.